For the last many days, we've been telling you about the grave situation in Mariupol. India today has now reached the epicenter of the sports city. Once a bustling city of over 500,000 people, it's turned into a ghost town now. Relentless bombardment by Russian forces has destroyed this city. India today is the only Indian channel in Mariupol, braving the situation to get our viewers up front what really is playing out on the ground. Geeta Mohan has filed a series of ground reports. Let's first get you this report to show you how the bridge towards Mariupol has been blown up.
Possible Russian provocations along its routes.
We are here on the way to Mariupol, a bridge that was blown apart by the Ukrainian side to ensure that the Russian side does not enter Mariupol. So a huge disastrous scene over here. We've seen many of these bridges that were blown up by the Ukrainian side to ensure that Russian advances are stopped. So another bridge over here. We're on our way to Mariupol, but this is what the scenes look like in terms of infrastructure that have been destroyed from the other side to ensure that Mariupol is not taken, a strategic city for both Ukraine and for Russia. With journalist Satya Rautre on the way to Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
So that is from a bridge that heads towards Mariupol. Geeta then made her way into the city, and what she saw was scenes of devastation, of damaged fire stations completely charred, residential buildings destroyed. Russian attacks has essentially destroyed this sports city.
This is Mariupol, a city under siege, relentless firing, shelling and bombing. We can hear it through and through. Look at the state of affairs of the city. This is the fire station that has been destroyed in the shelling, in the bombing that took place over here. And the craters of the rocket attacks and missile attacks can be seen. That's the extent of damage. All the cars over here burnt. The buildings across, the windows absolutely shattered. Goes to show the kind and the extent of damage that the missile attacks and the rocket attacks have created over here. The magnitude speaks for itself with what you see behind me. Shattered glasses, broken buildings, destroyed cars. This is a city under siege. Russia wanted to claim the entire area, and it has done so. Now Mariupol, most part of Mariupol is under Russian control, and to ensure it remains that way, that the firing that you hear is unending. People over here still are living, but only a few are left. Most of them have left the city or are trying to leave the city. There are humanitarian corridors on both sides, but that does not guarantee safety for the lives of people here in Mariupol. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Shattered windows, blown up buildings, no electricity, no water yet. People over here are staying with bare minimum. A lot of them have not left the city. We were speaking to a few saying that they do not have the wherewithal. If they don't have money, they don't have the banks working, how would they then leave their homes? Many others do not want to leave their homes. All they have is little kitchenettes that they've made outside and are cooking with wood fire. That's how bad the situation is. There are authorities who bring in water, deliver water from both sides, and then that water is delivered in these parts because they do not have water supply as well. Situation pretty bad over here for people, and if you see the people over here, most of them older lot who cannot leave the city, many who do not want to leave the city. The entire city of Mariupol, which once was a prosperous city, one that had a lot of economic and revenues, today stands absolutely in a shambles. We will be taking you through the city and through the ruins. This is a city that will take a long time to recover, to rebuild. With it, journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Amid constant shelling, this is a city that is absolutely dead, destroyed, and the destruction that you see over here with the buildings and the missile attacks the rocket attacks that this city of Mariupol has faced, no matter how strategic it is for Russia or for Ukraine, it is going to be very difficult to bring it back to its past glory. Mariupol was a very important city when it comes to being the land bridge between Crimea and Donetsk for Russia, and therefore a crucial city. But we've been told to be very careful. This is an absolutely burnt down building, but there are some other buildings that are still there, and there are fighters. Gun battle that is underway in and around Mariupol. There are snipers as well, and this time around, it's sad that even press has not been spared. So the journalists over here also have to take extra precaution and be careful. The bombings continue, shellings continue, and a city that was once prosperous today is absolutely destroyed. Russia and Ukraine will have to do a lot more than just talks and negotiations. There's a lot of explaining as to why so many people have died when there could have been a way, a route through diplomacy. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Imagine the plight of people who are still in that city of Mariupol. They're seeking food, essentials, relief material, and that's why locals flocked to a local shopping center. From 7 a.m., long queues could be seen outside these centers consisting of desperate Mariupol citizens. They're looking for the basic supplies.
This is the biggest humanitarian crisis that the people of Mariupol are facing. A sea of humanity, sea of people over here outside the metro shopping center, which has now become an aid and humanitarian assistance center. Long queues of people waiting from 7 a.m. in the morning just to get basic food supplies. This entire area now is under Russian control, and that's why it's the Russian and the Donetsk agencies that are working over here to supply food and humanitarian aid to the people of Mariupol. Mariupol has a majority of population that are either Russian speaking or of Russian origin, and that's the reason why when we spoke to people over here, many women in tears, because they do not know where to go and how to go, where to find safety, is the reason why they're staying in their homes. They come here early in the morning to collect their assistance, their basic supplies, and then return home to feel a little safer than what we hear. We're hearing music, Russian national songs, but this is all amid bombardment, shelling, and sounds of explosion. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Сообщить ей, если она увидит, что мы живы и здоровы в Мариуполе находимся сейчас. Они улетели.
Russian, Мариуполь!
Что мы живы и здоровы. Я обращаюсь к своей дочери Важинской Оксане Викторовне. Пусть она слышит, что мы живы и здоровы в Мариуполе.
Они живы, они в Голландии. Это Европа, там
это
люди.
все, что я хотела сказать, если вдруг
западенцы, с Западной Украины.
Перестань,
Зеленский создал войну, негодяй. Правильно? Нужно только миром решать любой вопрос. Любой. Не бывает стрелять друг в друга, правильно? Надо уважать людей. От маленького до старика. И делиться. Господь нас не...
Мы поможем найти с дочкой, мы поможем вам найти дочь.
Что мы живы и здоровы.
Okay. They just want to find her daughter. She is now in Europe, in Holland. So she is a doctor of first aid. So they are very worried about their daughter. They want her to know that they are alive and they are okay now.
People, no connectivity, like I said. This lady over here is only asking and trying to send out a message to her daughter in Europe. Where in Europe? Where?
Yes. Мы не знаем, она уехала из Киева.
Спортсменка, конник.
Месяц назад она
А у нее муж?
Беженцы.
А у нее муж?
Спасибо вам большое.
Это спортсмен,
Спасибо.
кино снимается. Он крокодер. Женя, фамилия.
Снится.
Понимаете, говорю, такие люди, говорю, мы просто простые люди.
This is a set of parents who are desperate to reach out to their daughter somewhere in Europe. They do not know where, but they just want to say that they're alive, that for now they're safe, and that the daughters should know. Alexander over here has been doing the very same thing. He's been taking contacts and details because Mariupol does not really have connectivity. So he takes their photographs. You can see Alexander's taking photographs. Then he takes their numbers and he connects with family members outside of Mariupol.
While Russia may be talking about de-escalation, it continues its onslaught in Ukraine. Major cities of the country, including Mariupol, Lviv and Kharkiv, continue to be under attack.
This is what Ukraine looks like, as the raging war gives no breather for the devastated country. Major cities of Ukraine, including the port city of Mariupol, Lviv in the west, Kharkiv near the Russian border, continue to remain the most devastated. A massive explosion rocked the western Lviv region near the Polish border after multiple attacks by Russian forces. Residents of the city were seen running for their lives as smoke engulfed a neighborhood in the sprawling city, now facing a barrage of Russian strikes nearly every day. This was a heart-rending scene in Lurch city after intense shelling by Russian forces. Images capture the massive fire that erupted in Lursk. The rescue team in action could be seen struggling to extinguish this massive blaze. In the last 48 hours, Mariupol has been under relentless Russian attack, turning the city into a living hell. Lakhs are still trapped in the city, which is now mostly without power, food and medicine. Chilling images capture Russian forces firing on several buildings, leaving the port city on the Azov Sea coast ravaged and destroyed.
This is ruthless war against our nation, against our people, against our children. As of today, 143 children are known to have died.
Meanwhile, efforts are on to bring help to war-torn Kyiv with help from foreign volunteers.
What brings you to Kyiv?
I came to help the people of Ukraine in any way that I can and provide support with whatever my skill set can offer.
And that includes combat?
Eventually it does. For right now, I'm working solely in a humanitarian work. But eventually, yes, I do intend on joining a military group.
Right. Also with us is Captain Finney leading this group. Captain Finney, what kind of assistance are you providing?
So we are attached with the International Division of Foreign Volunteers who've come to fight for the freedom of Ukraine. We have ambulances, we have drones, and we provide the support to the recaptured villages from the enemy.
But Ukraine continues to fight back and protect its land. Ukrainian forces have seized back full control of the town of Irpin, a few kilometers from Kyiv, where India Today had reported during shelling a few weeks ago. The area's mayor said that Irpin had been liberated and that Russian soldiers were offering to surrender.
Today we have liberated Irpin. Now we are carrying out a mopping up operation. It's not possible to return to Irpin yet. It's not safe yet. We are consolidating at our new positions. We will next move to liberate Bucha, Hostomel, Vorzel. We understand that there will be more attacks on our city. We will defend it courageously. Irpin is Ukraine.
Today, we have good news. Our defenders are advancing in the Kyiv region, regaining control over Ukrainian territory. Irpin was liberated. Well done. I am grateful to everyone who worked for this result. The occupiers are being pushed away from Kyiv. However, it is too early to talk about secure situation in the parts of our region. The fighting continues.
In fact, Ukrainian forces in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions repulsed 7 enemy attacks in 24 hours, they say, destroying 12 tanks, 10 infantry fighting vehicles of the Russian army. The Russian army also has reportedly suffered losses in manpower. The damage clear on both sides.
On day 34 of the conflict, while there is relative peace here in Kyiv, there have been a series of missile strikes in the Mykolaiv region. In fact, a government building was targeted, reducing it to rubble and leading to loss of life and property. There have also been strikes in Mariupol, where a Russian tank was also targeted. A video has gone viral of a Russian tank being targeted by Javelin anti-tank guided missiles. The Azov battalion is said to be engaging the Russian forces in pitched battles street by street. In several other parts of Ukraine, there is apprehension of intensified missile strikes. Clearly, as peace talks continue in Turkey, the apprehension is the worst is yet to come. With cameraman Lalit Joshi in Kyiv, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.